All right. Hey, what's up? Can you guys hear me and see me? Let me know if everything's okay. Let's get a quick audio visual check. Bit of a scary day in the market today, just a little bit. Not too bad. Couple very important things I want to go through. Just want to make sure that everything is okay as we are coming in. If you're excited for this live stream, if you already know that it's going to be some of the best analysis you can find, then please do smash up the likes, all that good stuff as we are coming in today. There's no fountain show behind me today. That's interesting. They usually start on the hour. Alright, so Bitcoin did set a new swing low. Bitcoin did set a new swing low, and well, I mentioned that if we drop below this, I said this in the last video, if we drop below this, then I would expect that we're going to go all the way down to 60k. I would expect that 60k would hold. It did. And from there, things get a little bit more tricky. So first of all, the analysis, as usual, completely on point. I mentioned that if we fall below this wick, we're probably going to fall down to 60. 60 is the next and last area of support we have until 58, in my opinion. If we fail 60, I think we're going down to 58. And if we fail 58, I think we're going very bearish. All right, so everything above 58 is fine. Everything above 60 is good. I'd say everything above 60 is fine. Everything above 58 is tolerable. Look, I'm not happy with this. Broadly speaking, I'm still bullish. Everyone's talking about Doge. I got to take a look at this really quickly because I got some really weird questions about Doge today. I'm just curious. I'm not gonna... Yeah, it's just... Look at this. This is just euphoria. I'm not even gonna analyze this shit. What can you analyze, by the way? People want me to analyze this. There's nothing to analyze. Anyway, Bitcoin right here did set a new swing low. And, you know, I'm still generally bullish on the market. You know, things did change for Bitcoin. It is worse than I originally thought, but I'm still generally bullish on the market right here. The reason for that is that we are still holding the key support level that I outlined with this blue box, and that to me is quite an important sign. The fact that we did not fall below this blue box yet means that we are still using support, and that's completely fine. What I don't like is that we set this low right here yesterday, and we've already dropped below it. That's pretty fast that we're failing levels that I think should have acted as stronger support. If we zoom out a little bit, we've pretty much now tested right at the bottom of this range with this blue box, which I think is happening faster than it should have. And the reason I think that this is much worse than you might originally think is it essentially means that areas which, in my opinion, should have been acting as stronger support are not really keeping the price higher as much as they should have, in my opinion. We can take a look at this on a different chart where I have slightly different illustrations of support, and the picture is still much the same, ladies and gents. We are still, you know, we're penetrating these levels a little bit too much. You know, this ascending triangle support, for example, we've now dipped below it twice. You know, it's not a coincidence anymore if it's happened twice. And that's where I am starting to get concerned. I just think that we're doing bearish things too quickly. We are flipping to bearish trends on short-term time frames. The 1 hour time frame has now conclusively dropped below the Ichimoku cloud, and it's about to turn into resistance. Now, this doesn't say much in my opinion. It's not such a big deal. It is only the 1 hour Ichimoku cloud, but it's still something significant, still something worth taking note of in my opinion, because it's just one of those signs that things are turning slightly bearish. If we take a look at this on the 4 hour time frame, we do still have support close, but we're going to have to dip a little bit to get there unless we just kind of hold this level for the next day, and the next 3 days actually. And that's kind of my best case scenario for Bitcoin. Obviously the best case scenario is we just bounce up from here, but I'm not sure that we have what we need in order to get that bounce relatively soon. And the reason I'm not sure for that is like I said, we've demonstrated a lot of weakness. And, you know, this absolutely could be a good thing. You know, it could be that we are penetrating support levels and we're testing them very well. We're getting it out of the way before we end up dipping higher. It does to me look like, you know, potentially a falling wedge. And so that's fine. If we end up pumping up very soon, you know, if kind of by the end of today, you know, Europe time zone, something like that, if by the end of today we end up doing something absolutely spectacular and pumping to very good levels, then absolutely yes. I think that we're kind of out of the woods and we're not doing too bad. But that there, that's me putting a time limit on it, and I genuinely am not super optimistic about Bitcoin performing very well just because of how poorly it has performed so far. And if this were to be a standard bullish retest, I don't think we would have penetrated 61, 62,000 so quickly, but we did. We did penetrate these levels very quickly, and that's what's got me a little bit concerned with the trend right here. If we take a look at things like the momentum, we've also failed 4-hour momentum with these wicks. Now it's fine if we wick a little bit below. Our candle bodies are still holding this level fine, which is okay. But it's still an area of concern for me. I mean, we're just about to fall out of it. The good news is that we've now made use, again, nearly made use of the 1-day EMA ribbon. So the point is, I mean, we still have support if we fail these levels. It's going to get a lot worse, in my opinion, and that to me is quite concerning. The other thing that I think is worth taking note of right here is the funding rate, and this is one of the other key points that I mentioned in a lot of the earlier videos. Funding is a measure, is a tool you can use to measure how many people are trying to play the long side, and if too many people are trying to play the long side, you're in dangerous territory. So now, for the first time in a while, our funding rates have dipped into the negatives on the 4-hour time frame. On the 1-day time frame, which is more important, they're still quite high. It's worth noting that compared to, for example, 2 months ago, the funding rate was at 0.229 and now it's at 0.05. So it has dropped by a lot. I mean, this is a big drop. It's like minus 80%. It's gone down by to the current day. With our recent highs, the funding rate was at 0.17 and now again it's at 0.05, 0.06. So it has dropped by more than half. It's just that it's still quite high. And what's got me concerned is I initially ignored this and it turned out to be a bad decision. I later on started paying attention to it. This is going back just 2-3 days ago, and that's why I actually adjusted my take profit and stop loss plan with my trade that I've been showing VIP members how I operated. Links are on screen if you do want to join VIP. I was on a very, very nice profit with my Bitcoin position, secured some good gains, plus 56%, which was very, very impressive in this market. But because of the funding rates, I decided to tighten things up a lot more, move my stop loss to break even for half of it. Other half of my stop loss lowered actually to take on a little bit more risk. So trade is going well now. I'm back in the green, but it's still not looking good to me, purely because we've seen, this is the thing. I think funding rates should drop lower, because if I'm anticipating much more upside movement, you wouldn't want the funding rates to be as high as they are. That kind of suffocates it. What this means, if the funding rates are this high, is it means that a lot of normal average people are going to get rich off a move that goes to the upside. And that's just not what generally tends to happen in the leverage market. It's just generally not the case that the masses are correct. It happens sometimes, absolutely. Generally, it doesn't happen. Take a look at this run-up. See, this run-up here, funding rates are much lower for most of the run-up. It's very much the exception, not the rule. And so seeing that, funding rates are still relatively high has got me concerned, because if we zoom in, one of the key ways you can bring funding rates down is by dropping the price lower. It's just that the prices are already quite low. And if we dip below 60, by the way, this was the new stop loss that was set inside of VIP. So you can see how expertly chosen that stop loss was. It was placed very, very well. And this is kind of, this is what we do. We're all about identifying these key levels where we can keep risk open, stay in a profitable trade, close at break even when things get a little bit more uncomfortable, take profits right at the top. This is what we're all about inside of the VIP group. So if you do want to see how we're doing that in real time, because there are a lot more real-time updates that I gave VIP members about this trade specifically, because things have changed so much with this trade since I opened it. I changed quite a few things, obviously all with plenty of notice, as much as I could give really in this market, and that has turned out to be a very, very good decision. It's turned out to be a series of consecutive very, very good decisions. So if you want to see how I was able to do that in real time, you can see how I did it in the past and how I'm going to be doing it for my next trades by following these steps on screen right here. I'll just leave this up for another minute and start going through some questions before I go back to the market. If you do have questions, do make sure to tag me at FORFLIES, by the way. Let's actually go back to the market now because I want to finish this point. Funding rates, we zoom in, they're fine, they're negative. Daily chart, they're not, they're still relatively high. And the point is, like I said, you've got to drop the price lower in order to kill these funding rates. It's just that the price can't drop much lower now unless things would get very, very bad. And that's what I'm concerned about right now. I'm concerned about the fact that, if we want to bring funding rates down, which I think is necessary for the price to rise higher, then we absolutely should be, dropping lower, and there's just not good. There's no good footing for that. That's what's got me a little bit concerned. I'm just trying to keep up with the comments, but it's quite difficult because there's so many comments in here today. So I'm actually just going to cover it. I'm sorry, I don't want to get distracted with my analysis here. Thank you all for joining, by the way. 1,000 viewers right here. We're doing an earlier live stream today, so if you are a fan of that, if you found this analysis at all useful so far, then please do hit up the likes, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you are new. This is very realistic analysis. I tried not to have biases here because biases do not pay you as a trader. Well, they do. That's the only thing that pays you, but being dishonest with yourself does not pay you. Telling yourself things you want to hear does not pay you in the game of trading. So that's not what I'm giving you here. Now, ladies and gents, this is where things, the title, this is much worse than you think. This is where it gets really bad, in my opinion. Now, fortunately, this is a live stream, but all of you people watching the replay will probably already know the answer to this. And most of you guys on this live stream, you'll probably also know what's up relatively soon. But what we have right now, ladies and gents, is we have dipped further into the support level, but we had support levels above us. That's important. We established a little bit of support at 62.5, for example. We found some support as predicted at the $61,000 level. This is no surprise because this area was previously resistance. Look, resistance here, flipped into support. None of this takes us by surprise. This is exactly what we were talking about on the YouTube channel. So once again, shout out to subscribers of this channel because this stuff shouldn't have taken you by surprise. This dip did not take me by surprise. In fact, it was something that I was hoping for. And so, this is good. What's bad is that now that we've dipped below this area of support, what's it going to turn into? Bam. Old areas of support turn into new areas of resistance. Just in the opposite as well. Look at this. Old areas of resistance turn into new areas of support. Now we're looking at potentially testing the same level again as resistance. And that can happen again when we start trading upwards. Now, I think that the chance of this happening is slim. I think that the chances of us getting rejected at these levels are slim. But the chances are there. The chances are definitely there because we've already kind of done it. Look at this right here. Now, I've really got to zoom in. This is difficult to show because we didn't actually trade above $63,000 for too long. But we did have a bit of a bounce zone right here, right? And we have clear flips of this level. Look, resistance here, even resistance right here. This is what holds the trend back. And then, bam, flips into support. And then, bam, flips back into resistance. Back into resistance. Back into resistance. We've already seen old areas of support turning into new areas of resistance. We've already seen it. We've already seen it happening in this market. So for me now to say that we might see the same thing again right here, I know that at first it might sound completely unreasonable and unrealistic, but now that we've already seen it, how unrealistic does it really sound that we might get a rejection off this level? See, I'm not trading this. I'm still, like I said, in a long position. I'm still hoping for more upside potential here. But this is something that's got me a little bit concerned. We found resistance here, then we found support. Is it going to flip back into resistance? Well, we'll know that if we drop kind of below this blue box. If the price falls below 61,000, which is only $300 away, that's what, like 0.5%, if I'm not mistaken, of the price. I mean, that's a fluctuation. That's nothing. To drop down that low. But crucially, I think if we are able to rise up to 62,000, then we will not be, getting these kind of bearish retests. And that would be a pretty good sign to see. I actually think that one of the key levels to beat right now would be this downward sloping resistance line right here, that means potentially being able to rise up above 63,000 now. If we go to 63.5, 64,000, somewhere up here would be pretty good for a confirmed breakout. It means that we are not setting lower highs, and it will buck this downtrend. It will buck the idea of this downtrend. It will, how do I say this properly? It will it will limit the possibility that we are trading in a downtrend if we set a higher high, if we trade up to 64,000. So that's one of the things that could save the market right now. One of the other things that honestly could be best for the market right here, like I said before, is just trading sideways. And the reason for that is we do have good support waiting for us. Well, we are waiting for good support really in a couple of days. So if the market can somehow, trade sideways, do something like that, just over the next couple of days, start seeing this cloud, I think the market has a good chance of breaking out. Right now, I think it's bearish. I think that there's a lot of bearish momentum going with it, especially since we set that high at 65, just considering how quickly we penetrated below support levels. But I don't think that all support is lost. Crucially, I don't think that all good is lost. And crucially, we are still operating in an area of support, and I can't let go of that. That's why the long position is still there. There's money behind the idea of the trade going up. This is why I amended my plan earlier today, informed VIPs about it as well. This is why I amended my plan, because we are still at a support level, and support is where it makes sense to be bullish, in my opinion. If you're getting bearish at support levels, you're doing it the wrong way around. And the point is, it gets even harder to stick to your guns at times like this, and that's just part of the internal struggle that you'll have as a trader. So if it's your first time experiencing that, welcome to reality. Trading is never as simple as it is when you're learning it in a book or in a course. And now you are experiencing that for the first time. So welcome to that. If you are enjoying this live stream so far, then please do hit up the likes and subscribe buttons if you haven't done so already. I really do appreciate it when you guys do that, and it's very, very helpful for me. So thank you very much. Like I said, hopefully seeing a little bit of support here, trading into that Ichimoku cloud, trading into some of the EMA support, the momentum support right here. This is just going to keep on catching up with the trend. If we can hold this level for a couple of days, that's what I think is important. If we can hold this level or trade up one of them, I think we're good. If we can't, and we start dipping down now, I will start looking at potentially falling below 60K. I absolutely think that the market has good basis for finding support here. I think that this support area is strong, and I think it's because it's played out so well over the past couple of days. Past couple of weeks as resistance. It should be strong support right now. It's just that the preliminary signs, the early signs, they don't look great in my opinion. The other thing to keep in mind, ladies and gents, is that because we've fallen down by $5,000, it's only 5,000. It's very funny that there's a lot of panic in the space, but because we've fallen down by only $5,000, if we end up kind of trading low, I think that's going to make a lot of people feel uncomfortable. I think it's going to make a lot of people feel uncomfortable and start potentially going short, and that's only going to do one thing to the funding rates, ladies and gents. That's going to be absolutely great for the funding rates. Now, once again, for those of you tuning in a little bit late, the funding rates are essentially a measurement of how many people are trading long positions, how many people are trying to say that the price will go up versus how many are saying it'll go down. And every time this funding rate is above zero, right down here, every time it's about, you can't even read these numbers. Anyway, it's fine, you don't need to. Every time it's above zero, it's bullish, like it's too bullish. Essentially, it means that a lot of people are trying to play the long side. So I think just kind of trading sideways would really start to shake people's confidence in the market, and that can be what enables us to rise a little bit higher. So that's crucially what I'm keeping in mind. I want to switch over to the altcoins and start taking your questions. So please begin dropping your questions in the comments down below if you are watching this live. Thank you all for tuning in very, very much. Please drop your comments in here if you do have any, if you have any questions, any specific charts you want me to look at, any particular challenges or questions, please do drop them here. I'm not going to look at shit coins. I'm not going to look at XRP or bcash or anything that's shit. Just more technical questions, and specifically Bitcoin TA. Someone's question is, why is my head so flat? You can see it in the reflection of the window. That is, I think, the weirdest question I ever got. So thank you for setting an all-time high in terms of weird questions I've received. And so yeah, let's go over to Ethereum really quickly. Ethereum is moving in very healthy ways, in my opinion. It's been falling a lot better than Bitcoin. It topped $2,500. No surprises. I've had this prediction for a while, and it's absolutely not surprising to me that Ethereum has performed so damn well over the past couple of days and weeks. I kept on saying I think it'll hit 2,500. Shout out to those of you who were paying attention to that. Once again, viewers and subscribers, more importantly, of this channel, you will have known quite clearly that I was talking about Ethereum reaching this level. We're now seeing a little bit of a retracement, fell all the way down to 2,300, now back up to 24. This looks like a fairly standard bit of price action to me, to be honest. I would like to throw on a Fibonacci retracement to see if we bounced off any significant levels, and yes, we did. Yes, we very much did. We fell down to the 0.382 level and got a bounce off that very level, so I'm very, very happy with that. You guys some of you guys are being a little bit too annoying in the comments, so I'm just going to start blocking a couple people now, because it's just, I don't want to deal with annoying people. Just giving you guys that warning now. So yeah, I'll carry on with the analysis real quick though. So Ethereum bouncing off the 382 level is absolutely great in my opinion. It's responding well to support. It's healthy. I mean, it's not nice that Ethereum fell down, but afterwards I think it's doing the best thing it possibly could have done. From here, potentially finding a little bit of resistance at 236 would be good. Maybe we trend a little bit lower. There's very good support at 0.618 as well. This was quite an important level in the market for a while. I'm actually going to draw a box right here. I think that if Ethereum fell down to this level, this would be the final bounce zone for Ethereum. The only thing is, if Ethereum falls down to this level, Bitcoin might fall down to 58, and that would make me very uncomfortable, because I do think that both coins would need to fall at the same time, and I wouldn't like to see Ethereum falling down this low if it means that Ethereum, I wouldn't like to see Bitcoin falling down to 58 if it came to that, because that would, like I said, make me very, very uncomfortable. Broadly speaking, good support level. This was an obvious long in hindsight. There was good support around this area, but for now, I think if Ethereum can convincingly break above 2,400, I mean, if it can rise up to 2,430, 2,450, I think it should be fairly easy to go up to the all-time high. That's not a big range. It's quite narrow, actually. It doesn't look good to me. But 3.7% move on 10x leverage is still 37% profit, so it's fine. If you are wondering where I'm trading, then Bybit is my exchange of choice. The link to join is down in the description down below. I've been working with them for nearly 3 years now, which is a very, very long time in crypto and in my life. And I absolutely love them. So if you sign up with the link down below, you stand to gain some free money when you sign up with your first deposit. It's going to be completely free of charge, and you can use that money to experiment with the exchange. You can withdraw the profits you make. So that's very, very well worth considering. If you are in the United States, United Kingdom, you will need to connect with a VPN. I don't think UK people need to connect with a VPN, actually. You will need a VPN in the United States, though. Of course, I cannot endorse that, but I absolutely love this exchange. Like I said, been using them for the longest time out of any exchange, and the link to sign up is in the description, along with the link to my tutorial showing you exactly how to use this exchange, and that is very, very valuable. So go ahead and take a look at that if you are interested. There we go. That's Ethereum analysis. I want to jump to any of the other altcoins. I think for now we'll actually start going through questions. Someone's asking what's the warning I'm giving. Though you should probably go back and watch it from the beginning of the stream, because I don't want to repeat this for people who've already tuned in. I think the key warning though is just that look, we've been slipping below support levels quite quickly, and there are certain signs that indicate, like the funding rate, that indicate that we're potentially not done with the dumps yet. And the warning is that if we're not done, we're almost going to be treading on thin ice, because I don't have so much faith in this support level, considering how quickly we've collapsed into it. I thought that we would show a little bit more strength on the way down, but we haven't, unfortunately. And that's what's slightly concerning. The good thing is, I mean, broadly speaking, like I said, I've still got money behind the idea of the market trading up. You know, I still think we will. We are still at support. It's just that, I mean, it's shifting bad quickly, and that's why, you know, half of my position was already closed at break even. You know, and now I'm considering, you know, maybe just closing it all out, because I do see some signs of potentially dropping a little bit lower. I've been sharing all the details of this trade inside of the VIP group, and those of you who have been paying attention, who have been taking up the amazing opportunities in front of you, will know that VIP memberships are 50% off while Bitcoin is above 60K. It really might not be that long left, and we were offering only 25 discounted spots available. I don't know how many have been taken up, but I think it's quite a lot. There are still a few spaces left, so follow these steps on screen if you do want to join FORFLIES VIP right now with that massive minus 50% discount. This is the lowest price in Bitcoin we have ever charged. The way to join is by clicking on the first link in the description down below, then on the @FORFLIES button, and then send message to ask me how to join VIP. These 3 clicks have no downloads required, no signups as well, and crucially, what this is going to give you access to is the information on every single trade I'm making. I'll tell you exactly what I'm considering. Then when I've decided I want to move it from consideration phase to commitment phase, I will also tell you how I've decided to commit to the trade, what levels I'll enter, what my leverage is, my stop loss, my take profits, and things like that. Each of these levels will be explained. I'll tell you why I'm choosing these, and from there, I'll also give you updates on how I'm navigating those positions. So a couple very impressive screenshots right here that you can pause and read. We're covering 100% of the VIP fee just through the free course that this person had access to. Another couple people over here making back their full investment. 1,200 USD in profit, $370 gain in 1 day on a 40% profit, 77% profit, looking like breakfast out here for VIP members, just absolutely slaying it, making a triple-digit gain within this person's first few days in VIP. Obviously, these results are not typical. Not everybody is going to be getting results like this, but you've got everything you need to pull results like this, and I can tell you right now, people pulling these gains are not special, they're not geniuses. No one is a genius in the game of trading. These are just people who use the information we have very, very well, and I can assure you we give you everything that you need in order to pull results like this right here. We are giving you free access to our course, our courses and things like that when you follow these steps on screen. So I'll leave this on for you to ask me how to join and start going through your questions right now. Thank you for dropping them. Thank you for tuning in. If you have enjoyed this live stream so far, then please do hit up the likes and subscribe as well. My opinion on Doge, making a 200% gain in a day, it's just pure euphoria. I have nothing to say about Doge. I'm not going to entertain it. I could explain why I don't like Doge, although I don't want to. I don't think it's necessary. It's just a joke. It's a literal joke. FORFLIES, if the masses long Bitcoin, how is that not buying pressure? We are borrowing to buy more. That's a good point, JR. It's just that the masses don't typically make money. So there are points where it works out very well when there is a lot of buying pressure for Bitcoin, and it works out very, very well because that's the only thing that happens. That's like when Bitcoin pumped above $20,000, it was able to rise straight up to $40,000 within the next 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Is there anything going on behind me? Oh yes, the fountains are going off behind me now. So there's definitely a lot of potential for the market to rise when everyone's in agreement. It's just that in this case, it clearly wasn't time because the funding rates did need to correct down. It's very, very obvious in hindsight. In fact, it started becoming obvious when we were trading around over here, which is why my plans for the trade that I posted inside of VIP started to be adjusted. You know, things did start to change, and you need to be able to stay on top of that inside of this game. That's very, very important in my opinion. And you know, yes, it does create buying pressure, but there are times where the market needs to level out a little bit more. Long positions need to be closed, liquidity needs to be grabbed, and clearly this is one of those times because funding rates were very high and they've now been corrected. Do I consider myself a breakout trader, or do I try to take entries at bottoms and tops, anticipating a bounce? Good question. I consider myself a breakout trader. What does breakout trader mean? It means I'm anticipating breakouts of the trend, and I would go long on Bitcoin. For example, this was my actual trade, by the way. I opened a long position on Bitcoin. Wow, okay. Connection's just crapped out. Bear with me. Back on the Ethereum chart 1 second. Let's pull up the Bitcoin chart. So this is the actual trade that I made that I shared the details of inside of VIP. It was entered right here. I had orders set from all the way back. I set the orders on this day, and the order was to open a long position on Bitcoin if it rises up to this level right here. So that's quite high. I chose it on purpose. Actually, originally it was a lot higher. It was like up here. I decided to lower it. This is where I told you guys, a lot of you will remember that I've actually made my trade more aggressive. This is what I meant. And VIP members got that update. The reason I decided to make it more aggressive is because I anticipated a very large pump if we ended up rising up to $65,000. This is a breakout trade. Me entering over here indicates that I think if the price can go up to this level, it's probably going to shoot up way higher. That's exactly what happened. It didn't shoot up way higher instantly. In fact, it traded sideways for a few days and then it went up high, and that's completely fine. But that was the idea behind this trade. And the reason I like this kind of trade is that it's very easy to anticipate that if we rise above a certain level, there's going to be an easy range to game. Guys, the point of trading is not catching market bottoms and tops. You can do that, and that's one way to trade, but it's very difficult. I do try and, trade support levels and resistance levels and things like that, but the truth is, it's very difficult. It's difficult to do that, and I would rather make my life easy. There are much easier opportunities, and this is one of them. Now, if you're looking at this right now, scratching your head, wondering how the hell did I open a position up here if the price wasn't even this high, then don't worry about it. We have tutorials on how I've done those things inside of the VIP group. There are tutorials by me that expressly outline how I would open a position just like that, which you can gain access to by following these steps on screen right here. I did decide to enter a level right at the, a long position right at this level, 10x leverage. And if we play the chart forward a little bit, it opened quite quickly right at the top. So obviously I felt like a little bit of an idiot for a few days. And because of this drop, it was precisely around over here that I decided to lower my stop loss. I don't remember where it was originally, but I decided to lower my stop loss down to this level right here. So again, another expertly chosen stop loss. I shouldn't say expert, I'm not an expert, but another very well chosen stop loss. I decided to lower it down to around 57.8 because I was anticipating a drop down here, and that is what kept me in the position, and my stop loss stayed at that level until we got the big breakout. There we go, now I'm in the money. Trade's going up, and I'm closing profits already up here. I already anticipated that this area could turn into resistance. That's how I made a 56% profit on this trade. And right as I was doing that, my stop loss was starting to get moved higher. I was already planning moving my stop loss higher, and the plan was adjusted a couple of times. Stop loss to break even, stop loss a little bit lower, and so on, based on how the trend was looking to me at the time. My analysis changes with time. My trading strategy as a result changes with time. So that's a breakout trade. I love breakout trades. They're so easy to do. They're so predictable. And with leverage, they turn into massive profits. It's been one of the easiest trades that I've made this year, I think. And it's not like that was a surprise either. I was very vocal about that inside of the VIP group. And they saw two separate instances after I initially set orders for how I dialed up the aggression in this trade. That is very, very important to me because the climate does change when you're trading, and it's important to be able to change with it so that you don't get taken by surprise by things like this. And that's what was happening right here. So yes, breakout trader. That's a long-winded answer to your question, but I'm sure that it hopefully gave a lot of information right there. And if you guys did find that useful, then once again, I've got to keep asking. Please do hit up the likes and subscribe if you haven't already. It's very, very helpful. The channel is being like half shadow banned or something. It's just not getting the reach that it used to, even though nothing has changed. So your clicks of that button are very, very helpful. FORFLIES, would I set a momentum type short on Bitcoin if the price goes below $61,000, especially if the funding rates stay as high as they do? Johnny, no, I wouldn't. I do think that the funding rate indicator is relatively okay to trust, but the reason I wouldn't go short at any point soon is because even if we fall below 61,000, even if we fall below 60,000, there's a lot of support, and I don't like going short into support levels. It's just stupid. It's just risky in my opinion. I don't like the idea of trying to say that the price is going to go down right when really it should be bouncing up. Just because it should doesn't mean it will, but because it should, I don't want to be risking my money on speculative things like that. You know, the point is, one of the key reasons I make breakout trades is that I'm not desperate to trade. I do not have desperation to trade. I do not feel like I have an itchy trigger finger like a fucking addict, you know, that's forcing me to be trading all the time just to get my fix. That's not what it is for me. I can very happily sit out of the market for days or even weeks if I don't feel like it's safe enough. And that's what enables me to trade the market so well in instances like this right here. So if something looks even a little bit unsafe to me, I'm not in. And one of the key reasons, you guys hear it all the time, and this is something that you just don't consider until you start trading. You know, and nobody teaches you this either, because it's just not something that comes to mind unless you're a serious, regular trader, which I am. You know, is that there's two key problems that happen when you suffer a loss. Number one, you have a financial loss. Financial losses are difficult to recover from. Do the math. A simple 50% loss will halve your money. And that means in order to break even, you need to double your money. You need to make a 100% gain to recover a 50% loss. You need to work twice as hard just to double your money, right? If you lose 20% of your money, you need to make 25% to break even. You are always suffering, fighting a harder battle when you're trying to recover your money. That makes your financial situation worse. It's just difficult with numbers to recover from losses. People do not consider that when they lose 40% on a stupid bet. People do not consider that when they put too much money in one coin, in one trade, and they lock up their allocation and they can't put money in different places because of that. People don't consider that. That's problem number one, and that's bad enough in my opinion. That alone is worth not over trading. Number two, this is what you never think about. When you've made a bad trade, now you feel like shit. Now your confidence is down, your willingness to take risks is down, and that means that when a good opportunity comes up, you're not going to have the balls to take it. Right? Now you've got opportunity cost on your side. Not only have you lost money, you're also not going to make money because of the next trade, and it actually opens up a third possibility of revenge trading, which is even worse. I'm not even going to go into that, but it's where you start over trading, you start getting desperate, and it's just the absolute worst place to be as a trading addict. And I know this because I've been there. So that's why I'm not taking a trade like that short position. That's why it's not interesting to me. Someone's asking me, would I be so kind to explain what I think about the upcoming weekend? Yeah, I think that weekends could be a good time for the market to pump up. They generally have been over the past couple of weeks and months. Ken, thank you very much for the nice comment. Don't worry about the haters. We respect, honor, and love your opinion. Love from Denmark and Norway. Thank you so much, Ken. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for your very nice comments. We do need a VPN in the UK for Bybit. Okay, didn't know that. There you go. Now you know. At what level will I sell Bitcoin? I don't know. Maybe about $70,000, $80,000 if we get there. That's where I'd sell some Bitcoin. Guys, don't repost your questions because I am going through them in order that they come in. I'm just slow with them because I'm giving full, thorough explanations, but I'm sure that's what you guys are here for. Hope you're well. What is your opinion in the next 10x coin? No idea. I don't do speculative trades like that. Could I draw a fib from the 2017 top to this cycle bottom? We are fighting a key level. 2017 top to this cycle bottom? I have no idea what you're talking about. Can you give me numbers? FORFLIES, doesn't the problems with Ethereum and the hard fork give some reason why people might have exited their positions? Maybe? I don't know. Let's see what other questions we have here. I don't really pay attention to stuff like that, I'm sorry. Guys, of all the crypto YouTubers, FORFLIES is one of the better. You're being too kind. However, I'd like to see more sophisticated TA, such as Elliott and advanced fib analysis. I don't do analysis like that because I don't like it. I don't like to do sophisticated analysis. I've only used 2 indicators in this whole video: exponential moving average ribbons and Ichimoku clouds, and and the funding rate indicator. And that's because my analysis is very simple and it works so well. I don't see why I should complicate it just for the sake of complicating it. It doesn't give me an extra edge in the market. That's a problem. That's a mistake that a lot of people make. They don't carry out good fundamental analysis. Fundamental, not like news, but they don't carry out good ground level analysis. So they think that the way to compensate for their poor skills is to just use a bunch more indicators. And that's not how it goes. You know, this very much is with the terrible analogy of a guy trying to impress a girl. It's like the guy has absolutely nothing going for himself other than money, so he's draped in all sorts of designer clothes, nice watch, nice car, nice belt, and that's his entire personality when he's trying to flirt with women, and it's just not going to work. It's just not enough. You know, like there's got to be something else there, and the ground level thing is like a ground level attractiveness that the guy needs to have, or in this case, your ground level skills that need to be strong. That's important. That's how I feel about this. The wicks to the downside are super good. They're okay. I mean, it's good that we got the wicks and we traded up. You know, I'm happy with that. I want to see. I might have missed any. I might have missed some stuff from my notes here. Let me just check, because my analyst, my lead analyst inside of VIP, he sent me some stuff. I want to make sure that I'm not missing it. It looks like I actually covered nearly everything he told me about. Yep, I've already covered it. There is the possibility that we could be looking at the end of the bear market, but I don't think that's true. He wants me to talk about that, but I don't think that's worth touching on right now. I don't think this is the end of the bull market. Honestly, I genuinely think that this is still support and we have a good chance of rising higher. It's just that we are showing so many signs that indicate the other side. So that's why I am a little bit back and forth here. Can UK residents still trade futures? I mean, you can. You're not sure if it's illegal. It's confusing. Yeah, it is confusing. They're absolutely terrible, incompetent lawmakers in that shitty country. Real shame. I used to love the UK. But so my understanding of the laws are that they've banned people from offering you those leverage products, but you are still allowed to use them. I have a lot of friends still in the UK, still trading this stuff with no issues. You do it at your own risk, obviously. I can't tell you what to do, but no one I've ever heard of, you know, with 75,000 subscribers has ever had a problem with this kind of stuff. Whether that's good enough for you or not is up to you. But if you do want to sign up, whether you're in the UK or not, the link to do so is down in the description. And if you are connecting from territories that might have questionable laws around this stuff, then using a VPN is necessary, and I cannot endorse that. Link is down below, where you get a free trading bonus, gives you some extra cash to play with when you make your first deposit. That can be used towards making more profits, and you will also find my tutorial on Bybit, again, right below that link, so you can learn how to use the exchange. You can just pause the live stream here, follow those links, sign up, open up the tutorial. It'll take you less than 30 seconds, probably a little bit more than 30, maybe 30 to 60 seconds, and then you can come back to the live stream. If we drop below 60k or below 58k, would I expect Bitcoin to fall to 50 again? Yes. So I'll reiterate that. I've talked about it already, but I'll say it again. If we fall below 60k, I'm anticipating 58. If we fall below 58, I'm anticipating 52 to 50. I'm anticipating this range if we fall below 58. I don't think that this range would hold, because that to me would be a very, very bearish sign. So I would then be looking at 42, 43 as the next area of support. From there, I think it's possible that we drop lower, but it's way too far away. So I'm not going to conduct analysis that is further out than that. But I certainly think that if 58 falls, we're going down to at least the low $50,000 range for Bitcoin. Could I draw a fib? Okay, already covered that one. FORFLIES is a short selling baby. I'm literally not in a short. I don't know where you guys make these conclusions from. That's impressive. Ban these fools for life. Yeah, I do. It's just an instant block. It's just shocking that they come in, like new annoying people come in every day. It's just shocking that it's like they're a factory produced thing. FORFLIES, thank you for answering my breakout versus bounce question. You're very welcome. I hope it was thorough enough. I can't see how it would be more thorough than that. FORFLIES, implications of Turkey ban on crypto, rumors of India too. Nothing, don't care. Couldn't care really. We weren't expecting such a detailed reply, very valuable. Thank you, I'm glad that you appreciated that. I hope it was helpful for others. If it was helpful at all, then please do hit up the likes and subscribe. It's so helpful for me in return. And it'll be good for you too, because if you have found this analysis useful, you will continue to receive these videos in your notifications on your subscription page on YouTube, on your homepage on YouTube, if you do interact with the video in ways like that. No more Bybit in UK since March 2021. You can actually use it. I know many who are using it in the UK. In fact, I can't think of anyone that stopped. I agree with FORFLIES. Even if Doge is predicted to hit $100, I wouldn't buy it out of principle. Exactly. You know, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's a literal straight up gamble. Like, it's literally a gamble, and just because gamblers make money doesn't mean it's a good idea. That's very important in my opinion. What do I think about the ascending wedge on Bitcoin on the longer daily time frame? Let's take a look at that. I haven't seen that. Let's see how that looks. The longer daily wedge. I'm guessing you mean something a little bit like this. No thoughts. I know you want me to say it's bearish, but I don't think it's bearish. If anything, I think it's bullish. Support is at 58.5, so it does move in line with my own analysis. Although I didn't draw the line very precisely, to be honest. Let me see if I can make the line a little bit more precise. Not easy to, actually. The support is still at 58.5, maybe 58.2. So, I think it's a bullish thing. If anything, it's a bullish thing in my opinion. Can I please tell you when limit orders execute, does it execute at market price or limit price? It executes at the limit price, the exchange traded price. If you don't know what that means, don't worry. You probably don't need to know. T-Town saying, listen to what Sammy just said. He's right. Thank you very much. Am I Lebanese? No, not even close. I guess you got the continent correct. I don't know if you got the continent correct, actually. Am I boxing in Dubai? A little bit. Not enough. I should do that more. Actually, that reminds me, I wanted to go to the gym today. That was a really good answer, thank you. I'm glad you liked it, mate. I'm glad that I'm giving you guys thorough enough answers. What do I think about the ascending wedge? Okay, already covered that. How do I feel on the bcash chart? It's probably shit. How do I show the funding rate? Yeah, I struggle to bring this up as well, actually. So you go to the indicators button on the top, and you type in funding, and I'm personally using the one from Neobutane. This was thanks to a subscriber recommendation. Do you pay any attention to when different markets wake up? Nope. Don't care. The last stop loss is pretty wide considering a 10x. No, not really. I think it's only minus 16%. My current stop loss inside of VIP. It's not very tight. Not very wide at all in my opinion. Minus 16% is pretty tolerable. Someone's saying I'm skipping your question. I haven't seen your question. Oh, limit order execute. Oh, I just saw it, yeah. Let's see what else we have right here in the comments. I'm using Bybit in the UK with a VPN. No, I'm using Bybit in the UK, and a VPN is only needed for the initial sign up. It's not needed after that. I don't know how true that is. If I were in the UK, I would still use a VPN all the time. Good thing I don't live there anymore. Definitely nice to see how I do the Q&A. New sub deserved. Thank you very, very much. I'm glad that you enjoy these Q&A sessions. I do as well. I think I will start calling it the end of the stream right here. I'll answer a couple last questions if you have any, but I will get going because I am very hungry. And I think it's time for me to get on with the day. I actually just did a very cool supercar rally out in the Arabian desert. So I do them fairly often, actually. Not in organized rallies. Today was the first organized rally I've done in a while, and it was absolutely great. So a little bit exhausted from that. Someone's asking how to join. The steps to join VIP, if you are interested, are on screen. If you're asking about Bybit, then the link is in the description down below, where you can sign up to Bybit and trade on what is, in my opinion, one of the best exchanges. And it's worth noting that if you already have an account on Bybit, or any other exchange, you need backups. You absolutely need backup accounts because they can get hacked, they can go down, and it's worth having backups that you know how to use, because eventually the problem will most likely come up one day. It's obviously going to be when you need it the most, and if you don't have a backup by that point, you're just being irresponsible with your money. So whether you use Bybit, which I love, or something else is up to you, but it's worth having backups, and the link down below will give you free money to trade with on that backup account when you make your first deposit. So check that out. Someone's asking me for Cardano analysis, and I will absolutely do that with pleasure. Cardano against Bitcoin has seen a little bit of a drop. Cardano against the dollar is probably down by quite a bit, but let's take a look before I make an assumption like that. Yeah, it has dropped down by a fair bit. Less than Bitcoin? No, more than Bitcoin. Yeah, more than Bitcoin. I don't know. I don't have much to say about this, really. I mean, it's got maybe a little bit of ascending triangle support right here. I don't know. I don't have anything to say. Maybe there's a Fibonacci level. Maybe. No, not really. I guess this is a good Fibonacci level. Yeah, this is a good Fibonacci level right here, indicating that there might be a little bit of support at $1.33. A little bit lower, the key support is probably at about $1.20. I'm sorry, yeah, this is $1.20. Around this level, I would actually buy Cardano. This is actually where I would buy. If it falls down there, I would buy here. I would feel pretty safe there. Yeah, I think if Cardano can convincingly break above 150, then it's looking at new all-time high rallies, probably. That's what I'm thinking there. Pineapple on pizza, of course. It's the only way. Only way. Someone's asking, I have 250 euros spare to invest in. What should I do? I can't tell you that, but what I can say is that whether I had $250 or $250,000, my strategies would always be the same, which is leverage trading. I just feel like it's the best way to trade. Doesn't mean it is for you. It is super risky. It's one of the fastest ways you can lose money if you don't do it correctly. But my God, it's probably the fastest way you can make money in a market like this as well. And if you do it correctly and safely, which is what I aim to teach you how I do inside of VIP, then it can be very, very beneficial. We are offering courses here for free with your VIP membership, which will teach you everything I know about trading from A to Z. Everything you need to know, everything I know from A to Z, they can come for free with your VIP membership depending on which plan you take. So the steps to join are on screen right here with that 50% discount, which is nearly over. It's only when Bitcoin is above 60K that we're offering this, and only for 25 people. This discount started 2 days ago, and already a bunch of the places have been taken up. I don't know how many. Oh, I just got the number. 19 of those spots have been taken up in 2 days. So the last spots are probably going to be taken up today. That's an average of 9 people taking up this amazing 50% off offer per day. There's only 6 spaces left. they're probably going to be snapped up by today. So if you want in with that huge 50% discount before prices go up to full price again, you want to see how these people have been able to pull off amazing results, making back their initial investments, 1,200 US on profit on top of that, $370, just showing you that, you don't need to be a millionaire to join. These are people with normal balances profiting 40%, $370. That means this person put in $1,000 in the trade. This person is not a complete baller. A lot of people are trading with similar portfolio sizes, and if that's you, you wouldn't be out of place in VIP. 77% profit right here. Absolutely beautiful gains that we're seeing across the board. Very, very impressive. This person making back their fee. This was shortly after joining. This was about 9 days after joining. This person sent me this message, and after adding more money into trading, is 87% of the way to breaking even after spending more money as well after joining VIP. So very, very impressive results. First few days, bam, triple-digit profit. We see results like this. Again, not all the time. Not every member is able to pull this off, but we see results like this because of the amazing content that you can find inside of the group. And once again, the steps to find that content are on screen right here. We're giving you full breakdowns of what we're doing. We're giving you tutorials on how we do it, down to the exact buttons we're clicking, so that you can see how we do this. You can learn about the processes. And with the courses, you have an unstoppable combination. We've had one member that I keep on thinking about, one of the most impressive members we've ever had, joined with $30,000 in March last year, and January this year, 10 months, turned 30K into 1 million. And as I said before, it must be 1.5 or 2 million at least by now. So those are very, very impressive results in my opinion. Very, very impressive. Double peak like 2013 or single top like 2017? I have no idea. I wouldn't know how to answer that. FORFLIES, what boxing club do I recommend in Dubai? I haven't actually joined a boxing club. I should join one. If any of you guys have a recommendation for a boxing club out here, let me know. There are a lot. I think any would be good, to be honest. I'm super amateur, so anything would be good enough for me right now. When I box, I just box at the gym. There is a boxing room. And in your country, have already used crypto to pay now? What? I don't understand your question. Final statement on Bitcoin as we approach the hourly close. The hourly close has no influence on my analysis, so there's no final statement to offer. It does actually look like it's making good moves, and we're not getting rejected off this level though. So like I said this during the stream, you're gonna know the answer, probably during the stream or right afterwards, and it looks like this area has not turned into resistance, which was one of my primary concerns. It's too early to call that. I need to see Bitcoin trading above 62, but we're moving in the right direction. I don't want to analyze such short time frames though. I don't think it's healthy to do. First time here, I enjoy your analysis. Thank you from the good old USA. You're very, very welcome, Lewis. Glad you enjoyed it, and welcome to the channel. If you are new, then please do subscribe. It's very, very helpful. Great for you, great for me. And if you want to get the alerts on our live streams, if you want more free analysis from the team and I, then you can find it by clicking on the first link in the description down below. Do I have any ideas to share on Litecoin? Unfortunately, no, I don't trade Litecoin anymore. And yeah, I box a little bit just for cardio. It's just generally a great way to work out. Right, guys, I'm gonna head off. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next live stream. Have a great rest of your day. And yeah.